With his left fist, hands it to equipment manager Frank Sinchek, who gives him a big hug. There's Ricky's mom.
Again, talking about the game being forgotten.
And Lou Brock probably the happiest guy on the field right now. He can finally make his speech, pass over the record to Rickey, and go about his business.
He is stopping. He's going back. He's going to run down. Ball gets away. This one's over. Oh, my freaking goodness. But I got the Twins signing Carlos Correa. Jeff Passan has the Giants getting Chris Bryant. I am taking the Atlanta Braves. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Baby Baseball channel. Louis V, Aero Force, S Griffin 9, Jeff Ha. Sad news today, really shocking news. Rickey Henderson, the absolute legend. Someone I watched as a kid growing up. I watched Rickey with the A's, mostly with the A's, but the crazy thing is it doesn't even seem that long ago that he was playing. And he was trying to play. He wouldn't play in the independent leagues. He was playing, in 04 with the Dodgers, I believe, around there. Padres for a year or two. 05, he was still playing. And it feels like not that long ago. And Rickey, a guy always full of life, full of energy, always in unbelievable shape. If you'd have told me like one player who played in the 80s and 90s who was going to live to 100, I probably would have said Rickey. Rickey ain't going nowhere, but tragically, Rickey Henderson passed away. This is just crazy news. Dave Stewart said, when I heard he was sick, I wasn't surprised. He doesn't know how to slow down. He doesn't give himself a chance to not be 100%. It never stops him. He's always on the go. He had rental properties in Oakland. I had to get these calls saying they saw Rickey out cutting grass. What do you mean? He's out there with a lawnmower working on the property. Not surprising for Rickey. Loves to fish, hunt, just always on the move. And he was definitely on the move a lot during his MLB career, stealing bases. And I believe that is a record that will stand the test of time. Few people love playing as much as him. And we got Jeff Ha. No, I did not know that I guess he had pneumonia. And I mean, it must have been real serious pneumonia. I don't know the situation. I don't know if we're going to get any more information on what happened to him. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything. I've heard of pneumonia, but I know sometimes it can be not a big deal. Someone gets pneumonia, they get better, and obviously sometimes it can be a very big deal. He was scheduled to undergo surgery, so something was going on, but we don't have all the information. But this is just an absolute shock right here that Rickey is no longer with us. I love listening to his interviews, love listening to him talk, and love hearing stories. Here's one of my favorite interviews about the $1 million check. The $1 million check, if you don't know, check it out.
Okay, that's fine. Works
Sure,
for me.
okay.
Is this a true story? In the early 1980s, the Oakland A's accounting department was freaking out because their books were off by $1 million. After an investigation, they realized the GM had given you a $1 million bonus check, and instead of cashing it, you framed it and hung it on the wall in your house.
That's true.
That's true.
Okay. Is it true that you once fell asleep on an ice pack, got frostbite, and missed 3 games?
In the middle of August.
Yes, that's with Toronto.
Yeah. You missed 3 games with frostbite in August.
Yes.
Okay.
What were you icing at the time?
I iced my ankle.
Your ankle. Okay. All right.
Is it true that you once asked a teammate how long it would take to drive to the Dominican Republic?
No.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
I just love listening to Rickey, man. What a guy. He was signing autographs and everything. And I was just thinking about Rickey. I was looking at some of his baseball cards and his rookie 1980 rookie card. I was looking at some of my old sets, my 85 set. I was checking out my Rickey card, seeing what kind of condition it was in and things like that. So never expected. I was just watching some interviews like this one not long ago. So many this year. Orlando, Willie Mays, Rickey Henderson. And I'm sure the list goes on. It's been a tough few years for MLB legends and Hall of Famers. Hank Aaron not too long ago. That wasn't this year, but it's been rough. Rico Cardi. I mean, who else did we lose? There's even some younger guys. Doug Creek, who played with the Giants not too long ago during his career, passed away. Some of you might have remembered him. I don't know. But obviously, Willie Mays. It has been a Reyes Moronta. What are we talking about? Reyes Moronta in the accident over in the Dominican Republic. Pete Rose, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose passed away. Louis Tiant passed away before they put him in the Hall of Fame. What kind of bullshit? Okay, now I'm going to get mad here. We got Jeff Ha. The 80 Topps rookie card is iconic. It is. And a PSA 10 Louis V sold for $180,000. That's just nuts because it's not super rare. You can look back in your old cards. If you got a 1980 Topps collection, if you kept them in good condition, if you got a beautiful Rickey, you could be sitting on thousands of dollars right there. But I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. It was just, the most recent the most recent sports death that I recall that was more just absolute shock to the system was probably Kobe Bryant. I mean, Reyes Moronta was shocking because he was so young. He was just playing. But as far as like a star player who's, a Hall of Fame caliber player or someone in the Hall of Fame like Rickey, unless I'm forgetting someone, we've had some older players pass away, but as far as someone still young, so it's like complete shock and you don't expect it. Kobe Bryant comes to mind. That just the world stopped for sports fans that day. But this is bad. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, Kobe Bryant. It was just as shocking to me. The Kobe Bryant thing was like a punch to the gut. Like no way. Like that's not the world. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear about Willie Mays, it's tragic. It's tragic. You're like, you don't expect it, but he is 93 years of age. So sooner or later that day was going to come. But Rickey, I thought that day was long in the future. Long in the future. Let's listen to Rickey some more.
Okay. Is it true that the morning after the Red Sox finished off their 2004 World Series sweep against St. Louis, you called someone in the organization looking for tickets to Game 6?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can we go back to the check one? Now, why? Why did you frame the $1 million check and not cash that thing?
At that time,
You had enough money?
No, I can't say I had enough money, but it was based upon, when you're a kid and you want to be a millionaire. And time I got a signer's bonus for $1 million. I go, wow, I'm a millionaire. So I'm going to frame this here check and put it on my wall, and I became a millionaire. And
in actuality, not. In actuality,
a lot.
Without putting the check in the bank, I think one could argue we're not yet a millionaire, though, right?
I wasn't a millionaire.
Right.
I wouldn't even get no interest.
Right.
I said, I wouldn't even get no interest. Oh, man, what a guy. Rickey Henderson. I can listen to his interviews all day, but that's a good question. Are you a millionaire if you got the check, but you don't actually cash it and turn it to real money hanging on your wall? Logan, all you worry about is Richie. That's all you worry, not Rickey. You don't care about Rickey? You only care about Richie. What's going on? Yep, the Cali Okie connection makes me smile and laugh. He's a funny guy. As a Giants fan, I feel for the Oakland fans who are not going to get a statue of Rickey at the new stadium in Oakland. Oh, they're not going to get a statue or a new stadium in Oakland. They need to put a statue of Rickey. They're going to have, the stat is just so messed up that they're leaving. They're going to have to put a Rickey tribute patch on the uniform next year. The A's they're going to have to do that, and they probably need to do something and put a statue there, even if it's in Sacramento for 3 years until they move to Las Vegas and move the baby there. I don't care what you got to do, but you got to tribute. You got to do something for Rickey right here. I know Rickey's no longer with us, but we still got to do some kind of tribute for Rickey next year, regardless of the fact that the A's are not in Oakland. I wondered if John Olerud's story was true. You never know with Rickey. What story was that? May have forgot that one. I know John Olerud, first baseman for the Blue Jays. Forgot they were teammates. What happened here? I vaguely remember this story, but oh, yeah. I remember. I have read this story. Rickey Henderson signed with the Mariners. Olerud was there as well, and he came up to Olerud. He asked him why you always wear that helmet on because remember John Olerud would always wear that helmet at first base on defense. He learned that he suffered an aneurysm in college and so he explained it to him. He probably already explained it to him years earlier, but explained it to him again. And Rickey said, "Man, I played with someone like that in New York." And Olerud was like, "Yeah, Rickey, that was me, bro." Oh, man. There's lots of great Rickey Henderson stories. And he loved the game. He wanted to keep playing. He still felt like he could play. He probably could have played. He probably could have played for years longer than he did. Strange that Rickey was born. He died around Christmas. He was born on Christmas Day. I've read that story. I felt worse. Kobe's daughter died more than him. Oh, man, that is honestly, people die every day tragically. We can't possibly talk about them all because we don't know them all, but it happens every day. And that particular day, it wasn't just Kobe. It was, I don't want to get the number wrong, but there were how many people? 7 plus, a baseball coach, his wife, his daughter, I believe. 9 individuals died in the Kobe crash. Gianna, the daughter, I mean, obviously everyone's freaking out about Kobe and Gianna, but 7 others also passed away. And I've looked into that case really deeply. I've gone down the rabbit hole on what went wrong. And it seems like I think the pilot was just embarrassed or something, or didn't want to not get them there. And he probably should have landed that helicopter. He probably should have never took off, but certainly should have landed that helicopter a lot earlier. But he was trying to get them where they were going. And that was a huge mistake. Louis V. Olerud was a bust. Olerud had a freaking career. John Olerud wasn't no bust. 2,239 hits. 2,239 hits. 295 career batting average. 58.2 WAR. And he was a 3rd round pick, not a 1st round pick. He that's the first I've ever heard Olerud called a bust, unless you're joking or something. He was probably the best player in his round. Tim Salmon, you could argue Tim Salmon was better, but John Olerud, Tim Salmon in that round. Phil Nevin was in that round. But Rickey Henderson. Tomorrow I could be dead and Eric could be dead. So glad I thought, you know what I thought you were going to say when I started reading that, Logan? I thought you were going to say tomorrow I could be dead. Where the hell is my Richie review? I could be dead tomorrow, bro. And you were going to make me feel bad. And I was going to start filming it. That was right before COVID hit. It was. Kobe had no idea what was about to go down in this country. 58 WAR. 2-way player in college. His cards ain't worth. Now, cards are not always worth. It just depends on the player. You can get. I picked up a amazing Greg Maddox card for $5. I would have thought it would have been worth $50 or $100, but because for whatever reason people don't buy pitchers as much, you never know. Here's a nice one right here. This is not worth too much, but it's a nice Gunnar Henderson Topps Chrome Stars MLB. These cards are pretty common, but it is a Topps Chrome version. Just happened to be sitting in front of me. You know your stuff, Louis. You know your cards. Mystic is here. Other news as well. We will miss Rickey Henderson. Shocking news. Last thing I expected, but you know, at this point, it's been a rough year for. It feels like it for Hall of Fame, for MLB Hall of Famers. It feels like it's been a terrible year. As far as Hall of Famers passing away, one guy I'm worried about because I know he's having some health problems is Dave Parker. He just got elected to the Hall of Fame, and I'm hoping and I believe he will be, but he has had some health problems. I think he has. I don't know for sure. Let me see what. I don't. Dave Parker he has Parkinson's. He has Parkinson's, and he's had it for some time now. So I believe he'll still be here though for the actual induction in January. Yeah, Parkinson's. Yep, I'm glad at least he knows he's a Hall of Famer. And I would like him to get the plaque and actually be at the ceremony. And hopefully he's around for much longer than that to enjoy being a Hall of Famer. You got me on that one. I'll give it to you. No, that was a great opportunity for me. Yeah, you're right. I started reading that message from Logan. It said, I can be dead tomorrow because he keeps begging for the Richie Sambora review. Michael J. Fox has had it for 35 years. That's true. Michael J. Fox has had it for a long time. Dick Allen passed away 2020. Didn't get in. I mean, he did get in now, but not during his lifetime. But what about the Giants? By the way, Farhan Zaidi. Farhan Zaidi was interviewed. He finally came out of the closet. Well, not like that, but he finally came out of hiding. Okay, I should say. Okay. And they asked him some questions. And he says he didn't give him the lineup. He didn't give him the 1 through 9 lineup. Let's take a look at what he said and tell me, do you believe what Farhan's got to say?
Made more sense to stay the course on certain things because baseball's a grind. It's a long season. We know things even out. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to take your finger off the trigger and just let things play out. But that's probably one of my biggest lessons.
Were you a hands-on GM? Were you a Billy Bean? I'm going to send you the lineup every day, Gabe Kapler? Or were you a? You know,
I know there's a lot of talk out there. I think my reputation precedes me with that kind of thing. I mean, you look around the game, front offices and managers. There's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of exchange. You know, I never made the lineup. I know Will Clark thinks I made the lineup, but and I love Will, but that just wasn't the case. You know, sometimes you're wondering, hey, our starting catcher is going to catch 2 out of 3. What's the right time to drop in the backup? Or, you want to get the staff's thoughts on how they view the starting pitcher for the opposing team. Do we think this guy is better against lefties or righties? What does that mean in terms of the guys we put in the lineup? But I viewed it all as a conversation. I never said, this guy's got to play. I think when you take a step back, you might say, hey, we're bringing this young player up. We want to give him some playing time. So general things like that. But, on a day-to-day basis, we definitely had conversations about the lineup. But, there was never the handing over of a slip that had the guys 1 to 9. I think that's a real misconception.
Do you believe Farhan? Do you believe Farhan? I read Michael J. Fox autobiography he wrote in 2000. It was pretty sad. He's undergone a lot of experimental treatments and nothing has worked. Obviously, that's terrible. And I'm glad he's still going. And I wish they just find a cure for that and for all these terrible diseases. We don't seem to find too many cures. We do medical. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it seems like we have a lot of advancements. But I never woke up one day and the news was on, we got a cure. No. We never find cures. What's up with the cures? But anyway, yeah, Farhan. Maybe he didn't make the lineup, but he still could have influenced it. Here's my. Look. I'm not saying he literally handed a slip over, said, "Here's your lineup for the day. Get out of my office." Of course not. Of course they invited Kapler. Of course they invited Bob Melvin into the office, and they had a discussion. Of course, but the front office was heavily involved in the way the team was run, and who was leading off. I'm sure who was hitting cleanup. When they were going to bring in the relief pitcher, when they were going to do bullpen games, the rotation, they were very hands-on under Farhan Zaidi. And to some extent, the front office needs to be involved in those decisions as they've signed the players, and there should be a philosophy. But I believe he definitely probably had a little more involvement than he's making it out to be. But he is admitting that they did talk about it.
I know, being there in 2019, I could.
There's Eric Kratz. I know that he's admitting that they have influence from the front office. They definitely do, and I kind of think he did give him the lineup. Maybe not literally hand him a lineup, but I think when the way that they discussed things left the manager just not very much wiggle room. Not very much wiggle room. Cures don't make money. Big Pharma doesn't care about the health of people, just money. Well, we need the cure. If you want humanity to continue, we got to start making cures, so we're able to make cures for future diseases. So we can practice making cures and getting them out there. But yeah, ain't never no cure for nothing. Medical treatment advances, equipment advances, but cures? Remember the until there's a cure event they used to have, and they may still do, for Giants games, for AIDS, going back to like 1990, early 90s. We're still waiting on that cure. Louis V. But that's Farhan. And then we have some hot stove news as well. A guy the Giants were maybe in on, maybe with some Giants fans were dreaming about, Paul Goldschmidt. We knew all along Paul Goldschmidt wasn't coming to the Giants. We knew all along he was going to the Mets, Yankees, or Dodgers. Everyone goes to the Mets, Yankees, or Dodgers who has a name like Paul Goldschmidt. He's going to the Yankees. Yankees have agreed on a one-year, $12.5 million deal with Paul Goldschmidt. Jack Curry of Yes Network was the first to report that the two sides were in agreement, while Bob Nightingale of USA Today added the dollar value of the contract for the Excel Sports Management client. Mark Feinsand of MLB.com notes that it's a straight one-year contract, no options. That's kind of unusual, but he is a little up there in age. But Paul Goldschmidt is now a Yankee. He will be wearing pinstripes. This is a probable, I would say, future Hall of Famer. Maybe not guaranteed. Maybe a couple more big years from him, and he's got it. 4-time Gold Glover, 7-time All-Star, and an MVP. Probably is getting in eventually. I don't know if he's first ballot yet, but puts together a few more good years, and he's going in first ballot. But last season, 2024, he stayed healthy, 154 games. Hit just 245. His average dropped. He really got off to a rough start. Only hit 22 home runs. And I think that's the concern. That's why it's a one-year deal for Paul Goldschmidt. But obviously still a great player. So we'll see how that goes with that Yankees. And the Yankees lineup just keeps on improving. It's actually crazy. So here's a possibility. With Paul Goldschmidt at first, they just recently picked up Cody Bellinger. Obviously, they still got Judge, still got Stanton. They lost Soto, but Jazz Chisholm is back. I mean, look at all these Volpe. Look at all these names. And this rivals the Dodgers right here. No wonder they were in the World Series. Just a powerful lineup. Volpe, Chisholm, Judge, Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Stanton, and then Austin Wells, one of the better young catchers in the game. Jason Dominguez and Oswaldo Cabrera. And that is a freaking lineup. His years in Arizona were great. Yep, MVP. 4 MVPs in the lineup. Sickening. Yeah, he's pretty much a Hall of Famer. I think he should be in right away, but Hall of Fame is very, very, very stingy. Very stingy. So this is huge for the New York Yankees. And I saw some breaking news. Another trade might have went down here just before I went live. Oh, Josh Naylor? Has Josh Naylor been traded to the D-backs? Oh, that happened 3 hours ago. So the D-backs also pick up Josh Naylor to fill first base hole. Obviously, Christian Walker. Christian Walker is no longer a Diamondback. I just got to trying to keep track of all these players. Easier said than done. Walker is heading to Houston on a 3 year, $60 million deal. I don't even think I've talked about that one yet. So Christian Walker to the Houston Astros. They upgraded first base. The Diamondbacks lose a first baseman. So they pick up Josh Naylor in the trade to make up for that. Meanwhile, the Yankees picked up Paul Goldschmidt. So the Giants were still with Wade Jr. I don't mind Wade Jr. I like Wade Jr. I think it was a great trade. One thing I'll say for probably one of his better moves for Farhan was that trade, picking up Wade Jr. for, I can't remember the guy's name, the pitcher with the long blonde hair. He was pretty good. We thought he would be pretty good. He turned out not that great. What was his name? Someone remind me. Who was the name of the guy? We need Burnes. No pitching besides Cole. Is that true? They did lose a couple pitchers here in trades. It feels like Dominguez has been a prospect for a decade. First baseman of Wade Jr. and Schmidt, possible. The Daily Bluntathan. Wade has a 790 OPS against right-handed pitching, while Schmidt has a 311 against lefties. Matos can be a combination corner, outfield, and DH. Possible. I just haven't had time to watch basketball. Straight up, I have too many channels that are monetized that I have to work on, making videos, making documentaries, working on a couple other side businesses. It was crazy to think I was going to be able to keep up with that. I'll try to jump back in at some point. I apologize about that. Wade was bad last year. Who? Sean Anderson. I couldn't think of his name. Sean Anderson. Wade can get on base. He gets on base. And he's got power, not like tremendous power, but I believe he has 20 home run power. He hadn't done it yet. He hit 18 in 2021. He hit 17 in 23. Okay, this last year he still had a WAR over 2, so he's still better than an average player. Look at that on-base percentage, 380. He gets on base. That's the best of his career, 380 on-base percentage, almost 400 on-base percentage. If he can get that batting average up, he would easily have a 400 on-base percentage. But yeah, I mean, he didn't have his best year, but I think he's quietly productive. I think he's got solid enough defense. I like Wade Jr. I think that Wade Jr. is there better first baseman? Of course. But right now, if we have to settle for Wade Jr., I'm perfectly okay with that. As long as we upgrade if we can upgrade the rotation a little more. We already picked up Adames. So Joey Bart, Wilmer would be the first base platoon mate. Yeah, no doubt. Wilmer is clogging up roster spots. Schmidt is a versatile utility guy, while Wade can play left field. And a lot of it's going to depend on performance in spring training. If some of these guys struggle, they could actually release Wilmer. They could release Wilmer before opening day. And they're still pitching. We'll check on Burnes, but also the Giants are targeting Sasaki. Sasaki's expected to pick between 2 teams. Giants have made their interest in Roki Sasaki no. I think that's a grammatical mistake or a typo. I'm looking at this sentence. The San Francisco Giants have made their interest in Roki Sasaki no. Known. Huge difference. Sasaki, who can only sign for up to $7.5 million due to international rules, will have until January 23rd to decide on his major league team. About a month away. We could get Sasaki and we can get Burnes. As for Corbin Burnes, there is updates 4 hours ago, Sports Illustrated, and we're here. This is the guy that I think the Giants will get. I predicted it a while back, and all I'm hearing is Giants. Sometimes I hear a little bit, Blue Jays maybe in on them, other teams here and there, but it seems to be all about the Giants. Giants predicted to sign Corbin Burnes to massive contract. We've heard this before. Arson Judge. We were going to get Arson Judge. Okay, we were going to get Bryce Harper. We were going to get all kinds of guys. We never get them. So my hopes are not up, but I would say I'm feeling about 75% chance the Giants are getting Burnes. Wade had a great year prior to being injured. When he came back, whatever, he had lost it big time. That's JB82. AI can't spell. What's going on? Let's see what they got to say. Is this
one of the front runners and perhaps the front runner to sign Corbin Burnes? Remember, Corbin Burnes, of course, pitched in the Bay Area in college. He makes his home in Arizona now, so close to home. If he ends up signing in the National League West, that would be an ideal fit. Burnes and his representation likely trying to go beyond the deal that Max Fried was able to sign in New York, and so that means that it would be a deal in excess of $200 million. And the Giants, with Buster Posey now as the president of baseball operations, they are in the market for big-time free agents. They've already signed Willie Adames, and it would not surprise anybody, Lauren, in the industry if they eventually sign Corbin Burnes. Nothing close at this hour, from what I've been told.
Sorry. So it feels like the Giants are the front runners for Corbin Burnes. I've heard Blue Jays, I've heard Red Sox thrown out there. I've heard the Orioles are pretty much almost practically out, but they are that's his former team. The Orioles don't want to forfeit draft picks. I hate forfeiting draft picks personally, but we need a pitcher. There's a few other arms left. You don't have to get Corbin Burnes. The contract is going to be pretty crazy. Let's see. So we don't absolutely have to get Corbin Burnes, but that is the best option left. As far as starting pitchers go, Jack Flaherty is out there. Sean Manaea is out there. I mean, they ain't Corbin Burnes. Andrew Heaney, Nick Pivetta, Trevor Williams, Patrick Corbin. Oh, please don't sign Patrick Corbin. Kyle Gibson. I like Kyle Gibson, but he's getting up there in age. Lance Lynn getting up there in age. Chris Flexen. Ross Stripling. Oh, God, no, please. Charlie Morton. I think he's older than I am. Jose Quintana. Didn't we have him? Joe Ross. Didn't we have him? Jacob Junis. Didn't we have him? Colin Ray. And then some of the real older guys. Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw. We need to sign Clayton Kershaw just so he can retire a Giant. That's a joke. BC is trolling. I have gone to the movies. I just haven't done any reviews lately. And I'm working on some things, thinking of setting up a new area to do movie reviews. The my movie reviews don't get great views typically, with a few exceptions. So we'll see. I may go back to Crazy Crab, the original, and do movie documentaries. No video, just like my documentaries I do here. They always do really well. So I need to go over there, get that channel monetized, and get this going, get the business going. Who do I want? Burnes is the guy. If no Burnes, then Jack Flaherty's pretty solid. He might be the next best option unless I'm missing somebody. Do we take Justin Verlander just because? Does he want to play another year? I haven't heard anything about Verlander. I haven't heard anything about Kershaw. I think they're pretty much retiring. Verlander did not have a great year. I think he's just too. We got to go full Yoda. He is too old. Too old for the rotation. Just too old. But it would be cool. We did sign Randy Johnson back in 2009. We did sign Randy Johnson. So Randy Johnson retired a Giant. Randy Johnson retired. Okay, I'll start to pick up on the out of the theater. You know, what's playing today? Maybe I know. But I got some work to do. Yeah, we got to get Crazy Grab to 100. Documentaries, I don't know. Like, you see them all the time. Like, just take a movie topic or something, or a question in a movie. Why did the character do this? Why did, something. There's just movie talk, some kind of interesting topic that we could talk about. Burnes or bust? He needs to spend more time with Kate Upton. Now, I would have retired when I was about 30 if I was married to Kate Upton, but that's just me. I like your thoughts. When was the last time you wore the Crazy Crab uniform? Many years. Many, many years. Many, many years. Many, many years. It is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what? What am I talking about? Roki Sasaki is the other guy. We won't lose a draft pick if we can sign Roki. This dude can hit 99 on the gun. He's one of the better pitchers. He's 23 years of age. A young 23. This man was not born yet on 9/11. Put that in your pipe for a minute and smoke it and understand how young this guy is. He's from, let's see if I can say this. Riku Sentakata, Japan. And if we look at his stats, look at that ERA. Look at that ERA. His career ERA is 2.02. He gives up about 2 runs per 9 innings on average, which means he throws tons of shutouts, although he only has 1 because he only has 3 complete games. So he hasn't gone deep into games a lot. Maybe over in Japan, they're doing the same thing over here and not letting pitchers complete games. But insane. Look at the strikeout ratio. I mean, 173 strikeouts in 129 innings. That is insane. That's 12 strikeouts per 9. The next year he jumped it up to 13.4 per 9. This year 10.5 per 9. It actually dropped a little bit, but it's still freaking elite. This dude is filthy. This dude could be a future Hall of Famer, and he hasn't thrown a big league pitch. Roki Sasaki is the answer. Haven't seen the order yet. Dodgers are trying to snag him. He threw maybe the best game ever in 2022. Perfect game with 19 strikeouts. Roki Sasaki. Do we have any highlights? He faced Randy Arozarena in the World Baseball Classic, and he hit 102 miles per hour. 102. Holy crap.
The talent. You talked about him just a moment ago, Yonder.
There are people who think young pitchers in the world, this guy's got the best stuff of everybody.
Oh, yeah, Roki Sasaki. There's a reason why his nickname is Monster. I mean, look, I talked to a scout earlier today, and I asked him, I go, hey, I know he throws 100. Is this guy just a thrower? He says, oh, no. This guy is an absolute pitcher. He will dice you. He will think, when he thinks that he's going to go hard, he'll go hard. He'll locate with that fastball. But for me, his splitter is the one that has me mesmerized. He can throw a splitter that can go into the lefties, or he can also throw another splitter that goes into the righties. This is just special stuff, and I can't wait to watch him.
All eyes on Roki Sasaki, the young 21-year-old right-hander against Randy Arozarena. The first pitch of the night here in Miami is the fastball at 101 miles an hour.
We're going to see that 101 miles an hour, and I would think if you're Mexico, you're thinking fastball all the way. It's fastball and then adjust.
Arozarena's had another great tournament here. Just thrives in these big game spots. Got the call that time. Arozarena didn't think so.
That's filthy.
And he's talking to Quinn Wolcott, who's our home plate umpire, about it.
Yeah, he just wants to know, hey, you're going to give him that. It's going to be a long night for these hitters.
Sasaki throws, and a total breakdown of his swing, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's the splitter right there. You know, I know it kind of looks like a slider, it kind of looks like a cutter, but when he grips it, he has the tendency to have a feel for what type of cutter he wants to throw. That right there, what's a good one?
1-2. And he threw it again, it looked like, and missed. 2 and 2.
Let's see this at bat.
Rosarena strikes out swinging. 1-0-2.
Dang! If we get Roki, we're winning the World Series. Holy crap. Homestead, I saw that there's, Homestead, I'm going to check that one out. Ladies and gents, we get Roki Sasaki. That is, I want him more than Burnes. The talk is all about Corbin Burnes. It's not even close. If you could get one or the other, you get Sasaki. Corbin Burnes is going to cost a draft pick. He's going to cost freaking $250 million. I don't know what the freak is going to cost. Millions and millions of dollars, a long-term contract, probably after he's not good. I'm not saying don't sign Corbin Burnes. I would love to get Corbin Burnes, but between the two, Roki Sasaki, younger, nastier, filthy, and a potential, the sky's the limit. The ceiling is the roof. The ceiling is the roof for Roki Sasaki. And if the Giants sign him and you throw him in that rotation behind Logan Webb, Sasaki, Kyle Harrison, Hayden Birdsong, and Robbie Ray. And then if any of those pitchers get hurt, struggle, whatever, you got Roop, you got Mason Black, you got Keaton Wynn. All looked really good down the stretch last year. They all showed good signs of potential of maybe being able to actually be big league pitchers and in a rotation. So I'm not saying don't get Burnes, but if you can get Sasaki, I don't know that we need Burnes as much. I don't know that we need Burnes, to be honest. Now, to get them both, if we get them both, oh man. If we get them both, we're ready. We're ready. The middle infield could use a little upgrade. I really would like Nick Madrigal, but I'm not hearing any talk about him except from me. I don't think anyone is even thinking about him. That his agent needs to be on the phone. His agent needs to be on the phone because Giants could use him, at least as a spring training, someone to compete for a position in the middle infield, because we're a little bit are we going to rely on Tyler Fitzgerald to have another big year? I don't know. Homestead 11 p.m. You want me to see Homestead tonight? Get both the Dodgers. Both the Dodgers would be in a little trouble. Get both. Yeah, what do you think? Get both? What do you guys think? Should we try to get both? I'd rather have Sasaki between the two, just because I think Sasaki's filthy. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be great. He could be like I'm talking crazy, but he has the potential, he has the arm and the youth to come over here and be like a pitcher's version of Ichiro, and just like have a full career, a Hall of Fame career. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I see that kind of potential. Stuff is nasty. You know, you never know with pitchers. They get hurt and whatnot, but that guy, I mean, that's Tim Lincecum. You know, if Tim Lincecum was born in Japan, there he is. There he is. We need Sasaki. How long would they control Sasaki for? I don't know. I guess they'd have to sign a contract, maybe 5 years. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, typically Logan. That's correct. It's Timmy reincarnated in Japan. Other than that, ladies and gents, I don't know what else to talk about. That's the updates. Burnes is proven, but it will cost us another draft pick. We lost 2 last year. And did we lose 1 this year from Adames? Yeah. Yeah. We've already lost we're going to lose 2 draft picks 2 years in a row if we sign. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying don't do it, but last year we signed Matt Chapman and Snell. We lost 2 draft picks, high draft picks, like second round there. What was it, third and fourth round? I don't know, but we lost 2 draft picks, pretty high draft picks, and we already lost 1 from Adames. So we signed Burnes, we lose another one. If that means anything, to me it means a little something. Rest in peace to the great Rickey Henderson. He will definitely be missed. His style does look more sustainable than Timmy Lincecum. You're 100% correct. 100% correct on that one. And that's why I like him. I think he can last 15 plus years. I think he can be a great, I said Hall of Fame. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's impossible to say Hall of Famer, but that's how good he is. If that arm holds up for 15 years, I think he is. I think that's how good he is. I think he's going to be great wherever he signs. But let's not get our hopes up. Sasaki, what's the rumors? He could end up with the freaking Dodgers. God forbid. God forbid. But we do have this report right here that says that he believes the Padres are going to be the team to land Sasaki, not the Dodgers. Dodgers were favorites, but Dodgers have so much starting pitching. Like, where are they going to put all their pitchers? They have too many pitchers. They're going to need to trade some of their pitchers. Dodgers going to have to do something about their. You can't just hoard all these pitchers. Look at all these starters: Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May, Emmett Sheehan, Landon Knack, and that's not it. River Ryan is around the corner, ready to go. There's young pitchers, AAA guys who are really good, starters who are not even on this list that are big league ready. They got about 12 starting pitchers that are big league ready or already in the big leagues. Yes, indeed. I saw the Superman trailer. It was pretty cool, but I want to see the movie. Trailers don't. I learned from The Last Jedi, just because a trailer is good, don't mean shite. Don't mean shite. Do a video on the Superman trailer. It was okay. I saw some things I liked, some things I was a little bit iffy on, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. I need to make some videos on Eric's house. There's no doubt about that. That channel I just have completely abandoned. I've abandoned my channel. Okay?
Say it. Abandoned my child. Say it louder. Say it louder. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my child.
Why did I abandon my channel? I need to get back to Eric's house. Smallville is a classic. There's no doubt. But Superman is a property that's just always going to have content. Why do we need a new Superman movie? We don't, but they're going to make their money. DC, they tried to create their own universe, and they did a terrible job. I followed it. I watched every movie and I got excited, but they did a terrible job for if it boils down to one reason, it's because they rushed it. They rushed the universe. They didn't take their time. They put out Justice League way too early. They put out Man of Steel. They didn't even make a follow-up Man of Steel 2. They went straight to Batman v Superman, which was a terrible movie. And they just rushed it and they just blew it. And so they never really developed Henry Cavill's Superman like they should have. He got screwed. And now they're trying again. And we'll see if it's any good. I really like that Batman movie. Smallville don't like that much. Wait. Said you don't like Smallville that much.
What did you say?
We got Steven Ortega. Eric, it's worrisome that the Giants only have signed Willie. Let's give him some time. We can get Sasaki. We get Sasaki, it's over. The thing I'm worried, I don't know if he'll want to go to a team with another Japanese player because unless I'm forgetting someone, we don't have any Japanese players. We have a Korean player, and they will not be. I'm not saying they wouldn't be friends, but they're not going to be able to communicate as well as any better than anyone else because they probably would have to talk. They probably would speak English together because Japanese and Korean are not very close. Logan, yeah, we got a Korean. I lived in Korea for over a year, almost a year and a half in South Korea and down there and went to Seoul, traveled a lot. I only left because I had to because I was in the Army. If I could have, I would have stayed. If I could have stayed. But I didn't really have, if I would have stayed, I wouldn't have had a job. I would have been homeless. Because I was not going to stay in the Army. Grand Admiral Posey. The one thing to do is the one thing Warner Brothers refused to do, build a TV universe through Batman. The Arrowverse was good. They ran it into the ground. You're saying you want Wade Jr.'s over? I'm okay with Wade Jr. Not my first choice. I mean, if you give my first choice for every position, we're going to have an all-star team. But I'm okay with him. I think we can win with him. You don't have to. You're not going to have the best player in baseball unless you're the Dodgers at every position. He gets on base. He's productive. He's a good leadoff hitter. He should be the leadoff hitter. I'm not saying he's Freddie Freeman. I'm not saying he's even Matt Olson, although he has a lot of strengths that Matt Olson doesn't have. He gets on base. He works walks. Matt Olson strikes out a lot, but he'll hit you some home runs. They're both very valuable in different ways. So I think having a guy like Wade is necessary. So yeah, I do like Wade at first base. I like Wade at first base. I like Wade. If I'd have stayed in the Army, I would have retired. I would have been eligible for retirement in 2021, which is crazy to think about. But I would also have passed away already because I would have freaking shot myself in the face if I stayed in the Army. So there's that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Eric, you remember he's the head of DC Studios. He's going to reboot it the right way. Oh, you got faith in James Gunn? That's good. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. And I don't care about one movie. If the one movie's good, that's great. But building a successful universe takes patience and it takes lack of greed. One thing that these studios do not have is a lack of greed. They're extremely greedy. They rush it out. And that's what, I mean, a different version of Eric that would be in the Army to this. Ah, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Today's stream was brought to you by Buster Posey. Here's him with the Fresno Grizzlies. This is super rare bobblehead right here. Okay, not super rare. It's probably on eBay. But really cool here. Fresno Grizzlies, Buster Posey bobblehead. So there you have it. Other than that, it says on the back, farm grown. Farm grown. 28. Posey. We don't play. we don't play at the Hum Bay. All right, I'm going to drink some water. Hope everyone has a great day. We are coming up on an hour live. Buster Posey emoji. Let me write that down. Let me write that down here on my notepad. Okay, just so you know, I wrote this down. Buster Posey emoji. So you know, I really wrote it down, and that will remind me to do it. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Let me know if you're watching after the fact. In the comment section, what do you think about all the news? What do you think about Paul Goldschmidt heading to the Yankees? What do you think about the San Francisco Giants? Do you believe Farhan Zaidi when he says he didn't give him the 1 through 9 lineup? That's not how that worked. Do you believe Farhan? And also, rest in peace. I don't know if I'm going, Logan. I wasn't planning on going anywhere. I was planning on doing some of the work here. I would like to. You know, I do what I do. You know, I love going live and talking to y'all. But a lot of what I do is, even if I don't feel like it, you got to do it because you got to pay the bills. So I got to do some things that I don't feel like it. I would love to go to the movies. There's nothing more I would rather do. If it was up to me, honestly, all I would do is watch movies all day. If I had $1 million, all I would do is watch movies all day.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'd do, man.
You'd do 2 chicks.
To do that, man. And I think if I were a millionaire, I could hook that up, too, because chicks, well, the type of chicks that double up on a dude like me do.
Good point.
Well, what about you now? What would you do?
Besides 2 chicks at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing, huh?
I would relax. I would sit on my ass all day. I would do nothing.
Well, you don't need $1 million to do nothing, man. Take a look at my cousin. He's broke, don't do shit.
What would you do if you had $1 million? Thank you guys so much. I would watch movies all day. I really wouldn't watch movies all day. It's just an exaggeration. Honestly, I'd keep doing this. I'd probably maybe a little less often. Maybe a little back up a little bit on YouTube content because it's not as pressing if I had $1 million. But first of all, $1 million is not necessarily going to last the rest of your life. It's not, but I could definitely back up a little bit, back off on my businesses a little bit, go to more baseball games, travel a little more, and yeah, watch a few more movies for sure. Do the things I want to do, but I ain't going nowhere. You guys have a wonderful day. Hit that thumbs up. We're coming up on 1 hour live. For the 1 hour live stream, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Roki Sasaki, rest in peace. Ricky, if you missed it at the beginning, here he is setting the all-time record for stolen bases. No one has more. No one ever will have more. I believe humanity will be extinct before anyone breaks Rickey Henderson's stolen base record. It will go down in time. We will be living on Mars before anyone breaks Rickey Henderson's stolen base record. Complete Blu-ray, no time soon. I'd have to regrow that channel and really get a movie channel hot and going before, because they do something like that. I got to make sure you're going to get some views. I just don't know anyone cares what I have to say about movies. I don't get too many views. I talk about baseball, y'all show up, and I do appreciate that. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Here's Ricky.
Left fist, hands it to equipment manager Frank Sinchek, who gives him a big hug. There's Ricky's mom.
Again, talking about the game being forgotten.
And Lou Brock probably the happiest guy on the field right now. He can finally make his speech, pass over the record to Rickey, and go about his business.
Well, he's already out there. They've got a presentation table out there.